Hello and welcome to Junk Journal Inspirations. My name is Emily and this is episode 1 of my new series, Junk Journaling from A to Z. So I'm so excited to start this, and I hope that you guys are excited too. I am going to be kind of going through the alphabet. I may kind of, jump around to different letters. But this week will be things, all items that start with A, just because I'm trying to get a feel for how I want to do it still. So today's episode is all about altered paper clips and what might be called hidden paper clips or snag-free paper clips. So if those are terms that you have heard and you're not quite sure what they mean, or you would just like to see some, different ways of doing them, that's what I'm going to show you today. So I have 3 different things here to show you, and I'm going to start with kind of the simplest, and then we'll go from there. So this is, I have 2 little mini playing cards that are identical. Isn't that just the sweetest image? And we are just going to use a regular, I think this is just like a standard size paper clip. It is about 1 1/4 inches long, but use what you have. And we're just going to turn this into a paper clip. So you don't have to use playing cards for this. You could use scrapbook paper. You could use, maybe trying to think of different, digital papers, obviously. I kind of lump that in with a scrapbook paper. You could also use like labels. These are just some of my Tracy Fox labels that I have. You could use something like that. Anything that's sort of sturdy and has some heft to it. You could also use like the pieces of Tim Holtz ephemera. Those work great too. Just about anything. You just want it to just have some, weight to it, not maybe like copy paper weight, just so it holds up to being removed and put back on in your journal. But I'm going to use these playing cards because I think they're super cute, and then, yeah, but use what you want. You can ink these up if you want to. I'm not going to for these purposes today. I'm going to use a fabric glue. This is Magnatac, but it's the same as Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1 or any of the other Beacon acetone-based glues. I think they're all the same. And yeah, this is fairly easy. What you want to do, if you're using different, different images, decide which one you want on the front and which one you want on the back. And just keep in mind that the one you choose for the back is going to have the paper clip on top of the image. Okay. I don't mind that, that's fine. But if that bothers you, use something plain on the back or, an image that it doesn't matter so much. But I'm not going to worry about that. So super simple. We're just going to put the paper clip on so that the small part of the paper clip, let me get a little closer here. See how you have like the long loop and the short loop in the center? The short loop is going to go on the back of the image. So your long loop is going to be on the front. That way you have more hold area for your paper clip. Okay, so then we're going to turn this over. I always leave a little bit sticking up off of the paper, or in this case playing card, so that I can slip like some ribbon or something through there to make, a little topper. So in this case, I've chosen some yarn that I want to use. So I'll just make sure that I leave enough of a space that I can slip that through after I put it together. So we're going to just add glue all over this side, and then we'll glue this on top. So that's why I use the fabric glue. You could use hot glue for this, I guess. I've not tried that. I'm not always a fan of hot glue holding forever. It, you know, tends to give up after a while. So if you want it to last, I suggest just using some sort of strong, you know, strong glue. If you don't have one of the beacon glues, that's totally fine. Whatever you trust as a good strong glue will be fine. All right, now we are just going to lay that card right on top of the other one and make sure that it is glued and lined up well. This is a very quick way to create a very pretty little embellishment to add to your journals. Or you could use them as gift tags, depending on, you know, whatever you decide you want to use them for. I think they're very cute. And because I chose these playing cards that have this adorable little girl on them, I don't have to do a whole lot of embellishing to it. I mean, I could if I decided to, but I like the simplicity of it too. And then it's not so bulky. Just have glue on my hands, which is sort of a natural occurrence. All right. All right, there we go. So that's what it looks like. Right, and then I'm gonna just press a little bit extra on top of that paper clip. And you'll have, I don't know if you can see that, you'll have a little bit of a gap here. And that's fine. It's totally adhered. That's just because the paper clip is, you know, taking up some space in between. All right, I think that's good. Get off the extra little bits of glue here. All right, there. Now, that, to me, is finished. I mean, you could just use that. I'm going to grab a piece of paper here and pretend like it's a journal page so I can show you. So you could just use that as is and add that to your journal page. But like I said, I want to add some yarn to the top. I like things, you know, kind of sticking out all over the place on my journals. So let me find, let me find the end of this yarn. Oh my gosh, I have not taken very good care of my yarn. I think I'm going to kind of use some, the brown and pink. Yeah, that's, I just cut right in the middle of my yarn. I know some of you are probably screaming. I'm sorry, I'm just, I don't have the patience to find the ends of my yarn. Okay, so I am just going to decide how I want to do this. I think I might make a bow. Let me see if I can. And you know what? If it's easier, you can do this before you glue, or before, you know, before you stick your paper clip on, but I like to do things the hard way, so that's, yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna tie it here, let's see, and I'm just gonna make a little bow. We'll see how that looks. See if we can get it to look nice there. There, okay, and then I'm just gonna trim off the ends. Oops. Didn't end up really getting a lot of the brown in there, but that's okay. All right, there we go. My bow is being a little bit stubborn. There we go. There's your paper clip. Super easy, right? Doesn't take very long at all, and you have this really cute little embellishment to add to your journal page. And then, you know, you don't really see the back image unless you take it off, but it's pretty on the back too. But it doesn't have to be. You can use just plain cardstock if that works for you. All right, I'm gonna stop fiddling because I could mess with that all day. All right, let's move on to the next one. The next one is a Snag-Free paperclip. So you're not gonna see the paperclip. It's also called like an altered hidden paperclip, maybe is a word, you know, a phrase or term that you've heard. So you're not gonna see the paperclip at all. It's gonna be completely hidden. So you're gonna have a front and a back that will go over the page. So you'll see both sides, okay, without any paperclip in the way. So I have chosen a piece from a Prima paper pad, and it's a 6x6, and I trimmed it down to 3 inches by 6 inches, and I have scored it in the middle like so. So this will be the front, and then this will be the back. And if you're worried about like the writing's upside down on the back, I don't care. I know some people don't like that. Just choose, you know, a paper that looks the same, whether it's upside down or right side up, if that makes you happy. And then I've also grabbed a piece of avocado dyed cardstock, and that is cut to 6 inches by, I think I did like 2 7/8. So it's just a tad narrower than my outside piece. And this is going to be the inside piece. And what I'm going to do, I forgot to grab some wax paper. So give me just a second. Okay, so you'll also need a piece of wax paper, roughly the same size as your piece that you're going to be turning into the paperclip. All right, I'm going to, when you put these together, because what we're going to end up doing is, I chose a larger paperclip for this. This one is 2 inches approximately long. What you're going to end up doing is the paperclip is going to go on your inside piece, and then that is going to get glued completely inside your outer piece, okay? And then that will slip over your page. And once everything's glued down, see, you won't see the paperclip or anything. So before we do that, because of the paperclip here, it just it pushes that inner paper down a little bit, which is fine. That's actually a good thing, because then it's easier. It doesn't get caught when you're trying to put it on the page. But I am going to trim the back piece just a bit. And I think I'm just going to do it all willy-nilly. Oh, I did okay. All right. And then, so I want that to be less visible. And I think I managed to do that. Yep. It's nice and snug up in there, so you won't see that piece. And then on the front, I am going to actually tear some of this bottom, okay, so that it actually looks a bit raggedy. You don't have to do this, but I'm just going to kind of tear around the typewriter image a little bit, like that. Okay, and then when it's on here, you will actually see some of the cardstock underneath. So that's what it'll look like. All right, so let's ink everything up. I have some Victorian Velvet Distress ink, and we want to ink everything, pretty much, at least the outer edges. But you're also going to see you will see sort of this inside as well. So I'm just going to ink everything. That way it's all done and we won't have to worry about it after the fact. And then this one, because it's white on the inside, I want to make sure that I ink really well, because I did cut that cardstock that goes in this inside a little short of the edges. So we'll just ink that up really good so it's not all white. Have this aversion to white. However, in my Facebook group today, somebody posted a gorgeous project that was all shades of white, and I was sort of in love with it. So I need to get past my aversion to white. Well, I think if I was doing everything, you know, white, it wouldn't bother me as much. But when you've got like this really pretty vintagey paper and then the back side is white, that's where I can't handle it. All right. Okay, so that is done. Now we can make sure we put this in the right way because I did cut the back. All right, let me put the paper clip on. I could have used a piece of black cardstock for this. That might have been nice too, but I think this is good. All right. Now, there we go. That's what it's going to look like when it's finished. So what I want to do is I want to put my wax paper in here, inside the inner piece, right? And the paper clip will hold that. Now, let me grab, I sort of tore the, there we go. I just want to make sure that I had torn the wax paper in a not so great way. Okay, so now this is ready to go, and I'm going to glue one side at a time, and I'm going to start on the back. So I'm going to add glue to this piece because remember it's not as wide, and I don't want a whole bunch of like excess you know, glue that's not necessary, right? Just adding a little more ink there. Okay, so I'm gonna add glue all over this piece here. And you want to get as close to the edges as possible so that you don't snag. That's the whole point, right? We don't want to snag our paper clip and paper when we're trying to put it on the page and take it off the page. Just making sure that I get glue all on and around that paper clip. Okay, now we can line this up. Oh, my paper clip kind of moved. Just make sure your paper clip is all the way pushed on. And where does that little piece? Okay, I think we're good. All right, so now I'm just gonna sort of make sure it's centered like so. And you can kind of see from the other side if it's where it needs to be. Make sure, yep, okay. And then we'll just press that down really well. And that wax paper will keep anything from oozing out and sticking, you know, where you don't want it. That's why you use the wax paper, because we don't want to accidentally glue, you know, these two pieces together. That would completely defeat the purpose, right? All right. Now we're going to do the same thing, but I'm going to add glue to this side and we'll glue the front down. I had a wonderful day yesterday. Got to spend the day with my granddaughter, Annabelle, and Nick and Lauren. So it was a lot of fun. Grayson was with his dad, so I didn't get to see him, but hopefully we can get together soon when he is able as well. I haven't seen him since before, or since right after Christmas. So it's been a while. Oh no, look what I did. Okay, so I completely messed up. I put glue on this little piece here that I didn't want glue on. So I am gonna try to get that off. We'll see if that's successful. Usually you can when it's still wet. Get it off my hand. See, this is what happens when I talk and craft at the same time. I make mistakes, but you know what? That's okay. I think it's gonna be all right. All right, so I wanna make sure that this is getting glued down. All right, so I decided that I'm gonna take that out because I think we're good there. Yep, so this, if you didn't, mess it up like I did, you could just, it's all ready to go. You just slide it over your page, right? You could decorate the back if you wanted to, but since I, sort of messed up here, I want to do something to kind of cover up my mistake. So let's see. I have this like, I don't know, florally lace trim. I'm gonna just trim around the top here because I don't want all that like extra hanging off. There we go. And that can kind of go there. And then I thought maybe to just also draw your eye away from the mistake, I could add some eyelash trim here if I can find the end of it. Okay, this will work. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm making a mess. All right. So we can kind of add this. I guess we don't really need that long of a piece. We can kind of add it here and then add this guy over here. I think that'll be cool. And I'm just gonna do the art glitter glue for the eyelash trim part. And I'm just gonna be super careful when I lay it down that I don't get, that the glue doesn't get on my hands. That's good. And then we can trim this off. I apologize. I didn't mean for this to take this long, but at least this way you can kind of get an idea of what you can do to fix a mistake. But I do like this little rosebud. So let's go ahead and add that. I think that'll be nice. Make sure we didn't glue anything down. All right, there we go. So not exactly what I had in mind, but still pretty cool. I like it. And then it'll still go right over your page. Like so. And then, like I said, you could decorate the back if you want, but you don't see your paper clip and it's nice and secure. There we go. All right, one more. This one is slightly larger, and this is a very old jewelry envelope from a jeweler right here in my hometown. It's not very old. I mean, it's vintage, but it's kind of very, you know, it's seen some stuff. So I thought what I could do is actually glue this flap down, and I'm going to add paper to the back and a paper clip, but I'm going to actually create a different pocket here so that it can actually, you know, you can actually put some stuff in it if you wanted to. So this one's already nice and sort of aged. I think what I'm going to do is just slice down this side actually to create a little pocket or a little hidden spot. So let's see. Just take off a little bit, just a smidge. Oh, I'll actually have to cut this too. So why don't we do that at the same time? I just picked some, oh, actually maybe not. No, I won't have to. This is just some Tim Holtz paper that I'll use on the back. So if I just take off a little bit, I shouldn't have to cut the cardstock. So, okay. So now we have an opening here that we could slip something if we wanted to. All right, kind of the same idea as this one. Okay, you're going to see the paper clip on this, but I think it's pretty. And I used a little bit larger paper clip for this technique. This is tea dye distress ink. I love this color, and I forget about it sometimes. I'm just going to ink around this piece. This will help just kind of give this envelope, you know, some sturdiness. And I think it'll be really cool as a paper clip. So, all right, this is going to go on the back. This will be what you see on the back. So again, we're going to add the paper clip. This is what's going to be seen, and the large part of the paper clip goes on that part and the small on this part. Okay, I'm going to add glue to this. Again, I'm going to use my fabric glue, and just add glue all over and on that paper clip, around the paper clip, just everywhere. All right, I hope this is giving you some ideas about how to use paper clips in a different way in your journal. I mean, obviously you can always just use paper clips. That's awesome too. I do that all the time, but I think this is fun. It's a fun way to add items that can be, you know, removed in case things get a little bulky, which in my case is pretty much every time. All right. Just make sure that I don't glue my pocket shut. I'll hold that down for just a second. Make sure. All right, and again, you could decorate this if you want to. I like it just the way it is because I like the look of the, the vintage envelope, but you can add a little tag in here or some other, you could add just some paper for like a secret journaling spot. You could also write on here a little bit if you wanted to. And then there's, space on the back to write as well. So I think I like that a lot. If you wanted to, you could make a little thumb notch here. Probably a bit easier to do ahead of time, but I think we can manage it. And I'll actually add a little bit of ink since I cut off the edge there. There we go. So there is our little pocket altered paperclip. Super cute. I really like that. I like how that turned out, and it kind of gave new life to this old, jewelry envelope. All right, guys, that's it. So we have 3 different types here, and honestly, the possibilities are endless. There are so many different ways that you can, use paper clips in your journals. But this was just, kind of a sampling here. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I hope that this was, inspiring. I hope that you enjoyed this. You can give it a thumbs up if you did. And I do love to hear what you think in the comments. If you have, if you would like to see something else done in regards to altered paper clips, let me know and I will try to get to that for you. But otherwise, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's video will be, tomorrow's video will be all about acetate. So I hope that you will join me for that. And I will see you guys soon. Take care, stay safe, and stay healthy, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye!